was gonna take you guys on a tour and show you my backyard out there and my blooming cacti that are out here in our pastures. And I'm gonna give you guys an update on the baby chicks. And I just ordered the coop for the coaching boys and girls. And I'm building a second one that we're going to make out of pallets. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be another project coming up. First, I got to get the coaching situated, however, because all the other hens are larger. They're all big breed birds and they're all going to be layers. So I want to make sure that the coachins have their own safe space, even though Scooby is he's got an attitude. I think he'll get around with the big girls, no problem. But anyway, I wanted to set these smaller guys into their separate coop and maybe have some chicks in the future here, and also have them as brooders for brooding out other chicken eggs for me if I need to, or from other birds like geese and ducks and all these things. And so stay tuned and follow me on a little tour here. Today. They were forecasting severe thunderstorms starting at about 2:30 this afternoon. We got a few clouds in the sky, but otherwise everything is just peachy in southern Colorado today. I think they're coming to get me, huh? I heard the cop sirens. I always say they come to get me. Here's some of my kohlrabi and squash and beets. More tomatoes in these areas here, and I put some squash back here and some lima beans. Things have been going slow this year, but now the garden is really starting to explode. And finally it starts coming. These haven't mounted too much, these radishes. These ones are coming nicely. My Kentucky Wonder Bush bean, that's the first bean that ever went for me except for the lima beans. Tomatoes I rescued, butternut squash and more tomatoes, lots of tomatoes, corn, fresh salad for the bunnies and the chickens, and tomatillos, and I got herbs, and I got raspberries, and I got blackberries, and I got spinach and kale. Tomatillos, those are my favorite in the summer. I love these. I eat them just off the vine. And I have more tomatillos back there and more cabbage back there. Broccoli is coming along nicely. And of course the chicken babies, let's go with. So here are my chicken babies, and you're looking straight at Mr. Scooby. He is my coaching rooster. I guess the color would be called cocoa bar or something like that, or a gray bar, or he's very lilac, I would say. I don't know, he's more light gray than dark gray. And the reason you can tell he's a rooster is because of his comb. See? I have Shaggy, my hen here. You can tell she has no comb. See that? She has no comb, and she doesn't either. And here's Mr. Midnight. He is also a rooster, as you can see by now, with the comb on top. And these guys here, Mrs. Wednesday, they keep picking on my toes. And Morticia is right here. And then, yeah, so I got two Cochin Bantam roosters. One Mr. Scooby and to Mr. Midnight. And Midnight is probably the more relaxed one. And who's here? Wilma, how are you? She's like my kind of chicken. She's just constantly on me. Hello, your sister's picking on me. Yeah, she is. And here is Miss Fiona, my buff Orpington. She's getting real big too. And I'm having a hard time to say if she's a buff Orpington too. Miss Violet here, my lilac chicken. Is she a buff Orpington? Or blue Orpington or whatever? She is as good as these guys' sizes here. She's pretty good size. She's going to be a big chicken. She came with the bantams when I got them, and Olga came with the bantams. So Olga here, she's got her hairdo. She's a little bit out of sorts. We had a rain yesterday, so her feathers on top of her head is just really funny all the time, that the way that they go. And these are my Brahma hens, the buff Brahmas, and they are about not quite 2 months old, 7 weeks or so, and they're growing like weed here. These guys, yeah. So I'm gonna do a separate coop for my Cochians because they're gonna be the smaller birds, and I want to add some silkies to the mix later on down the road, and maybe some frizzles and some other fun chickens. Those are my fun chickens. And yeah, and you guys are all gonna be good layers. Yeah. Here is Mary Jane. That's Evie and Wilma. And yeah, you can see back there Midnight, that black rooster right there. And he's there. They take a long time to mature, I heard. They take till they're about 8 months old to really mature. And I would like to keep those 2 roosters because I also have the hens to go with it. And I would like to maybe get some more bantams later on down the road. And I started making what I call now chicken crack. I have a bunch of, I get oats and different things, and black oil sunflower seeds, oats, dried corn, and then I add things like millet. Some people add kelp. You can add a brewer's yeast. You can use different things that can go into your homemade chicken feed. And in the beginning I kept thinking, not really wanting this, but then I started soaking it, and they are just going absolutely crazy. I just soak 1 bucket in the morning with 2 scoops, and they get that in the evening, and then in the evening when I'm done feeding, I bring in another little bucket in the house and soak the food for them. They can forage here during the day. And she's pulling on my, Morticia, what are you pulling? She's pulling on my shorts here. Yes, you are. Morticia? Yeah. And so, anyway, so I've been soaking this, and it's like chicken crack, I tell you. All the chickens, my older ones, are absolutely nuts about this food. And you can add pretty much anything you want to bring into your food. You just got to watch the protein content, because chickens need a certain amount of protein. I think it's at least 16% to make eggs, I guess. And some of these feeds from the commercial source there, they are kind of, they got everything in it, but it's basically the bare minimum that your chickens need, and I want to do more than that. If you make your own chicken food, maybe comment down below in the comment section on what you do with your chickens. What do you feed them? What is your experience with Cochians, if you have any, and do you like them? And I'm talking about the bantams, not the regular sized Cochians, even though they would be really cool hens to have in a layer flock, I think. I just want to have a variety of birds, and later on all these guys are going to be free ranging on the ranch, and I have a few properties in my vision that I'm kind of looking at. And what I'm looking at here for the beginning of the spring and what all I need, and I'm making notes and things like that. But this is my happy place. I like to come out here and sit here with the chickens and talk to them, and they got water, they got food, and then this afternoon or evening I'm gonna come back out and spray the garden if I have to, unless they're forecasting thunderstorms for today, so you never know, might be happening this afternoon. So yeah, but oh, they are just running this crooked here, and then everything just comes out. You guys, you gotta the chickens are playing with the water. I gotta get them fresh later anyway. They always then this thing is gonna hang sideways and they are dropping all the water, and then they're messing around in it like little kids that like to play in a puddle right there. Yeah, I still got these two kennels out here, and I got a rooftop over it, and of course our crazy blue tarp that's gonna come down here pretty soon. And I'm thinking about using pallets and build a small coop for these guys here, and have the two bigger coops for the laying hens, and then for the cochins, for the little guys that are gonna stay little, I'm gonna make a separate little run for them, and so they can have a blast out here. That'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, we'll show you some more here soon. So you guys have seen all the baby chickens right now that are growing up, and as soon as I get the chicken coop, I'm gonna start setting it up, and I'm gonna message you guys and send another little video so you can see how I like the one that I have ordered and what we're gonna do with pellets. If you're in this area here and you know where I could score some free pellets for my chicken coop here at the sanctuary, or some free wood materials, anything like that, couple of hinges, things that we could use here to build some more coops and to build a chicken tractor. I would like to build a one of those chicken tractors that's from PVC pipe. So those are really easy to move, especially if you have a back disability like I do. I got rods and screws in my lower back. I've been messed up from a car wreck really bad. And so I have chronic pain for the longest time, and I have fibromyalgia, and I have all these different things, and I'm still gonna farm. So if you have some of these illnesses, how do you cope with farming? How do you do your own homestead? How do you divide the work up in your family? If you're by yourself, how do you manage to do this? Also, if you're making your own chicken crack or your own chicken food, let me know what you use, depending upon the area that you live in and what you pay most attention to. I pay most attention to what my chickens like to eat, kind of. And also, I do my own research about how much protein they have to have versus carbs, what is too sugary, what is not so good. I mean, a lot of people are on the keto plan, but it doesn't mean you got to put your animals on it too, right? But definitely a higher protein diet does help chickens out to produce more eggs, have better coats and better feathers and all these other things, and better offspring and lay better eggs, and there's a lot of it connected to it. So I'm wondering if any of you homesteaders here in the southern Colorado area make your own chicken crack, and what do you use, what do you pay attention to, what is growing in your garden right now? Do you share anything with your homestead animals that you're growing in the garden? I have a lot of greens that I always have out here, and lettuces and things like that I'm growing for Sophie Bunny. And so I'm just kind of wondering what you guys do. Do you have a disability? How do you manage? How do you keep your animals entertained on bad days? Do you have fibromyalgia? What do you do when you flare and feel like not getting out of bed? I'm going to tell you some of my tips in the upcoming ones. And so please, if you know anything new, something that you would like to share, I would gladly share it here on my channel. I think we all learn from each other. I'm fairly new to this whole homesteading thing, to this whole video creating content for people things, to try to show people what I can do. I'm also gonna plan on having some more cooking recipes like bread making and some of these your basic food making skills, I guess, that a lot of us don't have anymore because you just go to Walmart and get some canned goods and throw them in the microwave, I guess. But I want some real food and some real healthy food, and I want that for my animals too. So, anyway, what do you guys do? Let me know. I'll talk to you later. Next vlog, we're going to be baking some bread.